You ever wondered why chess TKs don't have the tries move around like they do in other Trine killers? Well, I don't really know the answer to that as well, but what I do know is that it has something to do with the trends being on top of the block the creeper is in, and it doesn't only work for piston based Trine killers. So, yes, no matter what kind of TK you use at head height, it will work. Even the old carpet TKs work. And this has been tested for more than 24 hours by me in total, so I'm pretty sure that the trend does not move. Now, of course, pistons are very slow, so you'd preferably want something faster than pistons. And trapdoors are a very good choice because they cycle twice as fast as pistons, so they can hit mobs every 4 game ticks, while piston based trend killers can hit a mob every 8 game ticks. Now, I think there's three main advantages of using trapdoor based trend killers over piston based ones. For one, they're just straight up faster, so that's good. And another reason is that piston based ones are more laggy than trapdoor based ones. And even with a lot of trapdoors flicking at once, it's a lot less laggier than having just a few pistons extending and retracting. And I have tested this using the trapdoor mod. Third advantage is a small one, but the trapdoor triangular is, in my opinion, a lot cheaper. Now there is an extra quartz in the clock there, but you can use a different 4 game tank clock if you want. And of course you won't be using this clock, but still the piston and the trapdoor are a lot different when you compare their prices. Before I get into the disadvantages of trapdoor triangles, I have to tell you about something I forgot in the start. If your mob is 2 blocks tall, then this is the position you want your trapdoor triangular in, not this one, because for some reason the triangle doesn't rest on top of the trapdoor, it's somewhat inside of the trapdoor. So if you hit a mob in this triangular, then the triangle won't be on top of the block, it will be in the same block, so it will move around. Meanwhile, if you use this one, it will be on top of the mob. Now, the first disadvantage that I can think of about the trapdoor triangulars is that they are a bit annoying to set up because, for one, they're directional and the hinge needs to be in the south or the west. So, if you don't have them in the south or the west, the triangular will break on relog even if you have turned it off. But I don't think that's a very big problem because in a triangular you can also place a piston in only one direction as well. I don't see people complaining about that because it's easier for the player to see the direction the piston needs to be facing in, but that's just the player's fault, not the triangulars. The other annoying thing is that you cannot throw the triant on the hinge because then the triant won't update, but that's an easy fix as well. You just rotate the trapdoor triant killer so that the hinge is not under where the triant is. Now, one of the big problems with trapdoor triant killers is that they are not relog proof when running, and the triants can fall down like this if you go away or log out if when the farm is running. But you can fix this by relogging again if there is some solid surface beneath the triant killer, and you need to relog twice for this to work. Well, once for it to break and then the second time for it to fix itself. That's why I call this mechanic relog square proofing. And as you can see, it's back on top, and now the triangular is working again. Now if you're on a server, you don't need to restart the entire server, you just need to relog the client, and that will make the trend glitch back on top. And the reason this happens is that the trend does not like being inside of a block. So if you have it inside a block, it will glitch out when you relog. And yes, this does not work if you go away and come back, so you need to relog for this to work. Now of course, a 4 game tick trend killer isn't the fastest you can achieve, and Shuminator came up with the idea of offsetting two different 4 game tick trend killers to create a 2 game tick one. And the way this works is this one activates 2 game ticks after this one, and then 2 game ticks later this one activates again, so the cycle speed becomes 2 game ticks for the entire trend killer. And if you do this with pistons, you can create 4 game tick trend killers with 2 pistons, and even 2 game tick trend killers with 4 pistons, but it becomes unpractical because you can't really have 4 pistons around a drop shoot and have the mobs hitting them, while making 2 game tick trend killers with trapdoors is really easy. And that's it for this video. If you want to know more about how the 2 game tick and 4 game tick trend killers differ in kill speed, then make sure to check out the previous video. And if you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe and join our Discord server.